Dear friends, today we are here to remember a gentleman who has lived for about 94 years and who has worked as a medical doctor in Mayanganaya and Gampha and in Colombo. And he passed away 5th March 2021. And he has served as a medical doctor, general physician for over 60 years. His wife, Kamalini Warusavithana, and her children are organizing this 3 months Remembrance Dhammadesana. We are together with the family members. We are going to remember Dr. Jayasomana Warusavithana. And as Buddhists, we remember our loved ones when they passed away on the 7th day, and when it comes to the 3rd month, and sometimes then annually we remember what they did to the community, the good things that they have contributed for the well-being of the society, and to carry forward the good message to the community and hand over that to the next generations. There we discuss a topic that comes in Buddhism and something valuable, and that is how we remember our loved ones, giving the Dhamma as the gift to the people, giving the good message of the Buddha to the people when we remember someone, our loved ones, when they passed away. So today the Warusavithana family, Kamalini Warusavithana and her children, together the grandchildren and all the family members are remembering their loved father, husband, father, and then their grandfather, Jayasomana Warusavithana. Today's discussion, I'm going to discuss how we can lead a happy life. What makes us happy and what helps us to be happy. Here, general idea is, of course, yes, if we have a good income, we can be happy. And if we have a settled life, yes, it is something that brings you happiness. And everything what we see around, that if things are well settled, and then yes, it gives happiness to us. And as people, we all work hard to have that assurance. I have a place to live. I have an income to meet day-to-day needs, and kind of assurance. I have something if I am in a problem, any issue that comes, yes, I have something for that. And these things give happiness, and as human beings, we all work hard for that. That is one thing. And there is a problem, the way we look at our income or to have assets, and that assurance, I am strong enough to be, face any challenge. There, working hard is always encouraged by the Buddha. The virya, the without giving up, work hard to have a good life. That is there, one part of the virya, that the work hard. And what is the problem then? We are living in a society that consumerism have more and more, and enjoy your life, and there are so many ways to enjoy your life. Yes, we have this thing, that thing, and new more and more things are introduced to us. If we believe that the happiness bring us happiness, when we have all those what are introduced day to day in the market, and to have all these things bring us happiness, I think then there is a problem. Why we have to be mindful about this? Because we are living in a time that our what we really want to live, have to have a good life, settled life, and what are our needs, and then that subtle margin is the problem. That the market-oriented society, always the market tries to convince us, no, the life that you are having is not good enough, have more and more, and we have introduced this thing and that thing. If we are not mindful, this nature of the world that we are living today, we will be in a race that never we will be happy and satisfied. We will be in that race, and race is created by the market, and those advertisements and all these things very well study our nature of thinking and address those weak points and introduce things. And this is where I like to discuss how the old knowledge that has come to us throughout 2500 years, and what that knowledge says about it, and whether we can think differently based on a teaching that has come down to us for over 2500 years old. Here, one may think, why we have to rely on something that has originated 2500 years before, and which is not a society, and the economy and the political background, and even the knowledge that we have today are different, and why we should look at it. Yes, that is a good question. However, I find the philosophy that is introduced by the Buddha 2500 years before is in a way revolutionary, because it does not talk about a creator, it does not talk about creation, it does not talk about something unchanging in you, something like soul or anything. And it talks about the impermanence, that is, everything is changing, unceasingly changing, and the change is the nature, and change happens based on the cause and effect, that conditional genesis theory, that is, and more precisely. And then it is not just a belief, it is not, and it does not teach us, ask us to believe what it says, and it welcomes you, come and see, and if you feel this is something that valuable, useful, you can practice it, or if you feel no, then you can leave. That means it is not something that force you to believe, force you to follow. No, it is very free, and it discusses the nature of the human being, and it tries to address the issue of happiness, why human being cannot lead a happy life. And there it goes into deeper level. It talks about, based on the conditional genesis theory or paticca samuppada, that everything is changing and unceasingly changing, and things that we see around are continuously, unceasingly changing. Not only things that we see around, the person I understand as I is a collection of things, unceasingly changing phenomena. Our physical body is continuously changing, and our mind. And nothing in this world, outside or inside, unchanging. Then it talks about how concepts, ideas are created in our mind. Whatever the data that is collected through our five doors, and we process them, and then we create certain ideas. Ideas are created based on the data that is collected in certain context, and then we create concepts, ideas, and hold such ideas, and then look at the world through those ideas, concepts, and visions. And the Buddha says the concept that is created based on the data that is collected in context, in certain context, are not always match with the situation, and it is subjective. The way I see a particular thing is different from the another person, and then the concept that is developed in me are not the same to another person, and the idea created based on a data that person has collected at the same time. And then the concepts are different, the ideas that we have are different, and then my world is different from your world, and we all are like different worlds. And then the problem is, I think based on my worldview, and I want to see, and I never think that you are different from me and your worldview is different from me. And if that is the case, Buddhism suggests respect the idea that you are different from me, and everyone in this world are different from each other. This is the way I see certain thing, but you can have a different view, and then I respect it. And this is the philosophy that we can develop from, based on the teaching of the Buddha, to respect each one's difference, whether it is a physical difference, whether it is the way someone look at the world, or his or her needs are not what I need or what normally accepted needs. One may have different need, and if that is not harmful to the world, then that difference should be respected. And since it doesn't say man is created by the God, and man as man and woman as woman, then since it does not say that, and since it says that conditional genesis theory, that each one is unique, each one is different, any difference that doesn't harm to the existence of the society, the world, and the other living beings, as far as that doesn't harm, then we can accept it and respect it. So if there is a happy life, that is to respect the individual and not imposing the other person what I think is correct and what you think is wrong. And as long as I keep that freedom, then we all are happy, and we all accept that each other's existence, each other's right of having different views. And that is how, this is the way that Buddhism, based on Buddhist philosophy, that we all can be happy. And then towards the possessing things, towards having wealth, and how Buddhism look at it. Again, we have to go back to the teachings of conditional genesis theory. According to conditional genesis theory, that we cannot lead a life disregarding this existence of all the other living beings, disregarding the existence of others, disregarding the existence of the nature, air, and environment. Why? Man is not supreme master of everything. Buddhism suggests we are part of the whole system, and we are part of this world, and part of the living beings, and then we are not the owner of the nature and the other living beings. We are not the master to decide to exploit everything, disregarding its existence. And it suggests you cannot be happy disregarding the existence of other things, other living beings, and the nature, environment. And you will see when we read the way the Buddha organized the Sangha, the community of monks, and when monks go anywhere, when they build a monastery in ancient time, they never disturb the nature. They become part of the nature. They never change the environment. Instead, they become part of the environment. And when they create the monastery, that was part of the environment, and always considerate about the environment, other living beings, and the ecosystem. And when the Buddha, the way the monks use robes, it says, when you get a robe, you use it as your cloth, and when it becomes old and no more you can use it as a robe, then you use it in other ways. Sometimes you make a cover of the mattress with that robe, and even after that, when it more and more worn out, then you use it as a kind of duster to clean places, and then use as the carpet, and then you use it the maximum levels of, and then after that you see you cannot use it anymore. Then you use the rag things and mix it with mud and use it to make the wall, the outer level of the wall, that the when you make when you build a monastery or the walls in the cell, the outer level of the wall, you make it level and make it good looking, and you use those parts of robes mixed with mud and apply on the wall. And see, that doesn't suggest you to have more and more clothes and throw it away, buy new one. No, it says use that robe the maximum use, and you do not throw it away, and use it even when it is no more usable then with the so it doesn't violate the it doesn't produce something that is alien to the nature, but it becomes part of the nature at the end. And not having more and more clothes, it suggests use it at the maximum. And monks are allowed to have 3 robes because 3 is enough for a person to and all these things suggest a kind of life minimalistic, have minimum and then use minimum, and think always what is needed and what is not needed. And this is where the contrast comes. We are living in a society, more and more consumerism is promoted. Have more and more clothes. You should not wear the same clothes that you wear yesterday to another function. You have to buy new clothes. You have to buy new things to go for a wedding. And more and more, just imagine one person, how many clothes they have. And don't you think that is a burden to the earth and burden to the environment? And when we can survive with minimum number of clothes, and what is essential, what really we need to have, and then if we can decide that, then in that that decision make that it's sustainable. I'm sure we all hear the word sustainable development, sustainable, and what is this sustainability, or why such word is coined, and why we have to think of sustainability, why sustainable development? Because the way that the world and generally human being look at the development is exploiting the maximum and to get maximum from the environment or whatever that, and then to be rich, disregarding what happens to the environment, disregarding how it affects to the community, disregarding whatever happens, to have more and more. And development, the way of measuring development is the income level, and not how we earn that, whether it is sustainable. Now the world has come to that level, and that is where we can look at the teachings of the Buddha, how it suggests us to think of the sustainability, how it look at about the needs of a human being. And that is, and this way of looking at is not something that that prescribed you to, this is the best way and you have to do. No, it has something, more profound. I'm sure you have heard of the teaching, the loving kindness. Loving kindness is something that comes in Buddhism that every human being should practice. It is not something that you should learn and to put it into knowledge level, but you have to internalize it, train it, and take it inside of you, and that creates, that change your behavior pattern. And Buddhism prescribe a meditation. That is, meditation means to train you, bring it inside of you and to internalize it, and then to change your whole behavior system. And loving kindness, explained in Buddhism, is look at the other living beings and develop your love and care as the way a mother look after her only child. And not only just look after her only child, it says the way a mother respond when she sees her only child is in a risk, and there the mother decides, whatever happened to her, that doesn't matter, I will save my child. That moment, the mind of that moment, mind of that woman in that moment is the loving kindness, and spread that not only to your own child, to towards all living beings. And now, if we develop that, what does it mean? We accept the right of all the other existence of all the other living beings. And if we accept the existence of all the living beings, then it suggests go into minimalism. Why? Because when we go into consumerism, have more and more, get more and more, collect more and more, that is harmful, that affect to the other living beings, the existence of the ecosystem. If one person live with what is, only with what he or she needs, that minimum needs, that means that is not heavy on earth, that is not heavy on economy, and it is sustainable. And that is how, then when I become lighter, that means that is that support to the balance of the ecosystem, that support to the existence of the whole system, all other living beings. And then minimalism is not only that, that helps you to have a simple life and stressless life. Not only that support to the existence of all the other living beings, and the balance of the ecosystem. In that way, if we all in the world go into that level, the factories that we have today to produce more and more, that in a way destroy the environment, do much harm to the other living beings and environment, we can reduce that, and then that helps to the existence of the ecosystem. And this is where this idea of minimalism is very important. I first suggest how we can be happy, how we lead a life of happiness. Now, we see that more and more, having more and more, and collecting more and more is the way to be happy, but have a minimum life. Minimalism is the way, the happiness. That happiness is different from what is promoted by the market economy. Consumerism and that what is promoted in today's world is the have more and more, but this teaching suggests to look around, accept the existence of all the other living beings, accept the existence of the environment, ecosystem, then plan your life that is not heavy on all the other living beings, on the environment and on the ecosystem. And my opinion is the world has to come to this point one day, if not today, within another few years' time. The damage done by the having more and more and this consumerism promoted world is very heavy, and this will not be useful for the existence of the existence of all the living being, including human. This is not healthy, and we will have to go for such simple life, and that is the only way to the existence of the whole world. And if we can change our lives, it is not that I am preaching that it is not. I am talking about the whole system, including the lives of the Buddhist monks. We all are driven by the consumerism that is promoted, the world that we are living today. We have to, what I suggest is to be mindful what has happened to all of us and what we are doing, the great harm that we all are doing to the existence of our own, damaging our own existence. And when we awaken, then we go back to the simple life that is prescribed in this religious tradition. And this is not something only Buddhism that comes in Buddhism. Even in Christianity, the poverty means not imposed poverty, but voluntarily poverty. That is, you decide to be poor. That means not to be, go for suffering, but to have a simple, sustainable, minimalism, that life. And this, if we can think of this way, this is not just, one person becomes, simple, having a simple life. This has a whole philosophy that talk about the existence of all living beings and the existence of whole system. And I think today we are remembering a person who has lived 94 years, and this is organized by his wife. They both have been a married couple for over 60 years, and now for us, those who are, their children and the grandchildren, and those who listen to this sermon, who are not related to you directly. I think the time we spend today is a meaningful time, because the knowledge that comes in this old religious tradition suggests a way of life that we all can be happy, and the happiness of whole living being and existence of the whole ecosystem that will help the existence of generations to come. And so the person that we remember today has lived over 94 years, but he has not done any harm to the existence of the ecosystem, or has created a situation that challenged the existence of the living being. And if we as a community, the whole community, human community, think of the way that we should not leave this world that is harmful to the existence of the other living being and the environment and the ecosystem, and we have to protect, we have to reduce the harmful things that is produced by the human being, and then we are in a way healing the world, and healing the world support to the healing of ourselves, and that is the happiness that we are talking about. And when we look at our own day-to-day life, the things that we do, and to think of how to be simple, then we will get more time to have a happy, relaxed time. And then you will see that I am living now, because earlier I was in a race to have more and more. Now, even without going for such a race, I can survive, and I have time for other things, to listen music and do something that brings you happiness and for the calmness. And then you will find now you are really living, and that is the happiness that I am suggesting based on this teaching. And then we can go for gratitude. Gratitude to what? Gratitude to the environment, gratitude to the ecosystem, and gratitude to all the other living beings that, and the people around us, our parents, our relatives, and friends who have, contributed for your survival, and for your happiness, for my happiness. See, earlier I didn't think the way I am talking today. I was not aware. And gradually, when I realized this teaching of the Buddha, the conditional genesis theory, everything is interconnected and everything is interdependent. And I started meditating how this is interconnected, how far this is interconnected and interdependent. Then I realized my whole existence is interconnected and interdependent. As a person born in Sri Lanka, in a hospital in remote place in Ampara, eastern Sri Lanka, I started remembering what my mother told me about my birth. And I was born in a hospital in a remote place called Inginiagala Hospital at Ampara. And I thought when I was born, certain hands, human hands, accepted me, took me and placed on a bed. And I thought, even at the very moment I came to this world, someone has taken me into his or her hands and protected me and kept on a bed. And that person who accepted me is produced by this whole community, and his or her education is given by the government and the free education system. And free education means the government run education system. How government run an education system? Paying for schools, paying for school teachers and all that, maintaining buildings, and how the government get money to run those things. It is the money that is collected from the people as taxes. That means the person who received me with warmth and protection is produced by the whole community. That person's education is given by the whole community. The bed that gave me comfort as soon as I was born to this world is produced by the money that is collected from the people. The whole hospital and the staff is paid by the whole community. That means at the very moment I was born to this world, I was interconnected, interdependent, and if that system was not there, I won't have survived it until today, or more than few days I will not survive. And then I went to a school in that remote area, a government school, and teachers came from various parts of Sri Lanka, taught me very kindly, and those teachers were produced by the whole community, and the schools are constructed with the money that is collected from the community. That means my whole education until I complete my first degree, I was given education by the whole community. That means I am not anymore belongs to myself only. I belongs to this whole community. I am produced by the whole community, and not only that, the whole environment, the ecosystem. And now, how I am going to repay? Be grateful to the whole community that protected me, give me the health insurance, give me the education. And now, as a university teacher, I don't think that I am doing a great something unique. I think I am repaying what I have been given by the other people. Today I am giving back what I can give, and always with gratitude. The children that comes to me, the university students, I always think their parents have contributed to my survival. Their parents have paid for my education. Their parents have paid for my health care. And today I am giving what I can give to their children. I am giving my maximum time. I am trying to not only teaching history, the subject that I am teaching, I am trying to give them whatever I can give them to equip them to have a better life, have a strong life, have a happy and sustainable life. if we all can think of the same line, then you will see how much others have given to you, how much others have helped for your survival, and then you will not think that selfishness will never come. Then you will start thinking how I am going to give back to the world, how I am going to be, part of that system, that share, that helps each other's survival, help each other's development, growth. And there, our intervention, solely based on gratitude. And to be gratitude, even the way you speak will different, that the way of organizing words and the tone and everything will be different, and kind of healing approach. Your words will be healing and tone will be very healing, and the way of arranging your words will be healing, not damaging, hurting anyone. And it is kind of totally different way of leading the life. And when you are in the race of consumerism, always tension and always competition, always jealousy. And as soon as you shift from that life to simple and with that conditional genesis, living, understanding the interconnectedness and interdependence, and my happiness is interconnected and interdependence, then the whole way of our life will be different. And this is where this old teaching is important. And this is where I suggest, even though we are living in the very different and to more than 2,500 years later, this teaching is very valuable. And it suggests a life that we all can be happy, not one person, one person's happiness. We all can be happy, all can be develop a world that maximum of existence of all the living beings is secured, assured. And that kind of world will be the happiest place, and that time will be the happiest time to live. That life will be the happiest life. And I suggest, please consider this and think of, we have a short life period, even though 100 years, that is not very, very long time. And if we start leading a life of happiness that promote the existence of the whole system, there, even a day or two, that will be the happiest, and that brings happiness, that no more competition, no more jealousy, no more tension. And that is the life, the happy life that we all can live happily. Let's come together and think of Jayasumana Warusavithana, the person that we are remembering today. And let's think of the 94 years of his contribution. Let's appreciate it. Let's grateful to the person. Let's grateful to his wife, and who was with him over 65 years, Kamilini. Let's be gratitude to that person, your mother, your grandmother, and even for me, a good human being that has contributed for the well-being of this existence of this world, happy and and let's all come together and be gratitude, pay our gratitude to those people who have created a peaceful world, who has contributed the existence of all living being. And let's pay our gratitude to your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers, and then to your children. Don't think that only the children has to be gratitude, show you their gratitude to the parents. Parents has to show their gratitude to their children. Whatever they do for you, appreciate it. And let them be happy. Let them to see that you are happy for what they have done for your happiness. Appreciate them. And it is not, sometimes there's a tendency to teach, preach that children should protect their parents, look after their parents and their duty, and no discussion about how much parents have to give back to their children, and how much the parents and elders have to be thankful to the children and grandchildren. It is not one way, it is both way. We all have to be gratitude to each other. Let's think of the Jayasumana Warusavithana, and may he find peace, may he attain the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. And I, as a monk, I wish you, may all the blessings be with you to see the world free from competition, free from tension, and to see the happiness, realize the happiness that is taught in Buddhism. And this sermon, even though one family invited me to deliver, I did not deliver this only focusing the people who are listening this Dhamma talk, but the whole people who will listen to this talk, and those who will listen to this in coming years, coming decades, and we don't know how many years this sermon will be there in the net. This will be listened by many generations, many centuries sometimes. Many centuries after, people will listen to this. What we share today is not only relevant to the present world. This will be relevant to, for generations. And this will be kind of guiding principles, guiding 1 hour that will help many people to find peace and happiness within. May all you be happy. May all you be well. May all you find peace.